Jason. So here we are.
Oh,
Are we rolling what? This is just what we do. We sit here and we talk. I don't even know what these are.
what are these?
Just weird objects we speak into. Is our product placement correct? Mike, help us out. Product placement good. Thechive.com.
Come on, icebreakers. Where you at? Where you at?
Solo Cup.
You know you want to Sam's purified water.
Apple. Yeah.
Nissan.
So
Help me out here.
oh, that would be a good one. So we're working as a duo today.
Yeah.
And no guests, like a true duo. It seems really quiet in here, which it's not any more quiet than it has been before.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but we're going to find out.
It's awful. It's gonna be so, no, I'm just kidding.
So
I'm just
awkward.
kidding. I think it's funny because I can hear
the crisp, cool, refreshing taste of
Coca-Cola Zero. I would say that's probably actually of all our product placement, number 2. Apple would be number 1 because obviously they're huge. Coca-Cola's got to be pretty close behind them, though.
I actually kind of use that in my entrepreneurial spill a lot, actually. But I need to research it better because I don't remember the guy's name. But I remember hearing this in marketing classes in college, that the CEO of Coke at that time, which would have been in the 90s, had said that his goal was to get every person on the planet to see the Coca-Cola logo at least 10 times. And back then it was probably, 5 billion people?
Maybe. Yeah.
Still a pretty lofty goal to get. But if you think about it, how many times we probably see it daily
On
average, it probably works out to about that.
Oh, I'm sure he far outpaced that.
I said that a lot for Got Wood Axe Sewing, that I kind of wanted to be like that in Tulsa. I wanted everybody to see the logo.
I knew where you were going with it.
Yeah, at least one time a day. So yeah, come on, Coke. Where you at?
So do you remember, were you around
When Jesus was here? No, I'm not quite that old.
New Coke?
Yes, I do remember New Coke.
Yeah, I don't remember the years. Late 70s, early 80s?
It would have been 80s. Yeah, probably mid 80s.
I was probably just...
Mike, can we look that up?
Yeah.
Throw
Jamie?
it up on the board.
Jamie.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, nice infographic there, Mike. It was like one of the biggest disasters in
people hated
marketing.
People hated it.
Like it was taught in 4 different courses that I took through college.
Which is odd that they kicked back then, but when they took cocaine out of it back in the 1800s, they didn't really kick back. So I was like, wait, that's weird.
Can't imagine why.
I say, put the cocaine back in. Let's roll.
Hey, you want to reach way more than 5 billion people?
This just went to $45 a can, though.
Yes. So Jason, give us a synopsis of where have we been? Where is this podcast gone? From the lows?
Down in flames.
I mean, that was the idea.
Swimmingly. It's gone swimmingly, I would say.
This means carry us.
Stretch. No, we've had some good times, learned some things. So I think season 2 is going to be, like everything should be, bigger and better. We'll have, I hope, maybe even some offsite guests. Do a little, what would you call that, Mike? A little,
like a
where we can see their face, like zoom in or whatever. Yeah. He'll figure it out. He's the smart guy. Clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about. But maybe some offsite guests and a little more structured. We've just been kind of...
And he's back!
Been kind of just, as you can tell, going off script and not really planning this out.
Well, Mike, how long has it been since we recorded? Is this 3 weeks or 4?
It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, at least 3
we
weeks.
Had Tomas
so,
on here.
We've got a lot going on. Obviously, we'll talk about some of that today. But, I like some of the content that's coming out of this. I think for entrepreneurs and even, small business owners out there, we fuck around a lot. We joke around. We tell, we're dumb in a lot of different ways. But I feel like in almost every episode, you can probably glean something from it
There's
and
at
run with
least
it.
4 to 5 seconds of usable content
I didn't
in
say
every
that
episode.
Much. I did not say that much.
But no, I definitely like that. I like where it's going. We, both of us, I think, talk to a lot of small business owners in our area and
every day.
Really in axe throwing, I talk to small business owners all across the U.S. On a weekly basis. I tend to regurgitate a lot of stuff that I've heard, but I think that's a good thing in a way. Like Gary V, stuff I hear from the Joe Rogan podcasts, or even out of context is useful. But just I think anywhere you can find inspiration in things, and hopefully we've given a little of that to our 7 subscribers.
7. Wow. Feeling pretty good about this one, huh?
I was hoping for a little boost after this one.
Wait, so. Any idea? Mike, can you check how many subscribers do we have on the YouTube channel? What? 26?
Woo! We love you.
Ballin'. We will send
That's at least 18 people that I don't know about.
We will send each and every one of you a thank you note because it's only 26.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to send myself one because I'm a subscriber.
I guess I am
You
too.
Probably subscribe. My mom.
That's true.
Thank you, Mom. Love you. What were we talking about?
There's no telling. Gleaming, like pulling some pieces, but everyone does that. I don't think anyone, and really any from the lowest level CEO or anyone in the C-suite or anything to Elon Musk or anyone like that. I think none of them are going to say, "Hey, everything that I say is original." There is nothing that I say that I've heard somewhere else. You have to take that and pull from it. You learn from little pieces. And another way that this is something I remember from kind of cutting my teeth early on. My mentor said, you're going to have several different mentors. You're going to jump around. It's not the same way it used to be. So you're not going to work for the same company for 30 years, retire, 40 years, retire and go away. You're going to jump around. You're going to do different things. You may do stuff for yourself. A key is, and I'll never forget it, said, you're going to pull some things from each person, even the one you hated, even like the worst one that you just could not stand working for. You're going to see something. It's going to come around, and he or she will lend something to you that you find really useful and you use as you grow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you have to keep changing. You are not the same person that you were with Triple J.
Oh, guaranteed. And kind of what you were just saying there, even people that you don't really care for at the time, looking back, you definitely pull little pieces of information from. Should we put a trigger warning on that? Might as well just say moist into the microphone several times.
That's good stuff.
I hate that.
I love it.
Eating sounds are worse, though, like smacking eating sounds.
Oh, I just mean the word moist.
Oh, you hate the word moist?
So my 8-year-old, let's definitely go way around.
We just took a dog leg.
My 8-year-old, I thought he was doing it on purpose, like just trying to piss me off, but he will literally just... and he's so loud. I'm like, how can a little tiny kid do this so loud? And I'll just stop and I'll just stare at him. And he won't care. He won't even acknowledge me. He'll just keep rolling. And then he sees me. He's like, what? And then I have to beat him.
Of course you do. Like any good father would.
Parenting 101. Sorry, what were you saying? Moist.
Moist.
Oh, man, we really digressed there.
So kind of what started what I would call my entrepreneurial journey in my 30s was getting fired from the company that I worked for. And
well, don't be an asshole, kids.
But that kind of gave me the push that I needed to because I had to. I guess I could have gotten another job maybe, but it kind of forced my hand and kind of made me back up what I had been talking about for the previous few years about going out on my own and, walking the talk and all that jazz. And it kind of forced me to do that. So in that moment, I didn't really care for the gentleman that fired me. But now looking back, all these years later, I don't have any hard feelings towards him at all. He actually was a very important jumping off point in my life.
Had he not have done that, I mean, you wouldn't be here.
It's hard to
You
say.
would have been,
really
you would have been
is,
making
right?
way more money. You would have been
That's
way
a
really
guarantee.
super
Yes.
happy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I would have been, if I were still alive and hadn't died from a heart attack or stress, I would have definitely been making more money, probably.
Same thing though with me and I, Ashley and I looked at the situation we were in and not, dissimilar to where you were, making a really great living, right? Where you didn't really worry about money. You were never stressed over that. Everything else is stress because there's always stress.
Right. But at what cost?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what kind of came to us. We started talking about it, and I was 50-50. Do I go and do this thing that was kind of starting to blossom? It was there. It hadn't really taken off, but I knew about it. I knew it.
Right.
Or do I jump back into, corporate America, which is the only place I'd been,
right.
really. And my wife, Ashley, was the push. She was the one that she's like, no, because she wanted the freedom, with what she does. It's complete freedom to be where you want, when you want. It's not totally, but you decide your schedule, you
right.
decide your routine and all that kind of stuff. And she really wanted that for us because she saw me missing out on a lot of our kids' early childhood. So she was really that ultimate push that that caused me to go off into it. And then, and that was great starting off. And then you came along, and now it's just like beep, beep, beep.
Now it's insane. But no, what you're saying there is absolutely true, though. You hear all those cliches growing up, and money doesn't mean happiness and all that stuff, and it's absolutely true in a sense. I mean, yes, making a good living is important, and money makes things easier in a lot of situations, but it definitely, there's a balance. In my 20s, I was kind of focused on just making money, and kind of everything else kind of fell off the wayside. Later in my 30s and now in my 40s, I realized that it's not everything, and quality of life. And I don't mean just, because this vacation coming up in July is the first real vacation I've had in probably 2 years. So it's not quality of life in that sense, but it is kind of what you were saying earlier, a freedom. And it's not just freedom to do whatever you want whenever you want, because you wouldn't make it, right? But it is a freedom with enough planning and foresight that you can dictate your own life and your own schedule, and you can succeed or fail as much as you want.
It's all up to you.
Exactly. It's all up to you.
And that's some luck. There's some other
absolutely
exterior things. But
there is a great freedom in that too, because we all have daily expenses and bills in life, and you should know those. My wife does, thankfully.
Shout out, Kari.
Yeah. You should know what you need, and that's kind of your target. So as an entrepreneur, you work for that, and once you hit that, there's kind of a freedom in that. You just go, oh, all right. Anything else I want now is how hard I push after that.
Right.
After that benchmark is made, and then you push. Conversely, if it's close to the first of the month and you're still short of that goal, then you're like, oh shit, I got to hustle. I've been slacking, or I need to turn some stuff into some other stuff and keep going. So it's a weird
drugs, whatever you got to do.
Turn tricks on the corner.
Sell your body. Hey man, we've all been there.
$20 is $20. We're not judging. So there is a weird freedom in that. But as you see and I see daily, a lot of people aren't set up for that. They're my parents, and I think we may have talked about this in an earlier episode, but they are definitely not that kind of people. And, there's comfort to them in that steady every 2-week paycheck, the proper amount of taxes being deducted, your 401k being contributed to, your health and eye care plan, and all that stuff. There's comfort in those things for
absolutely.
them.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely. But if that's what you need, entrepreneurship and small business ownership probably isn't your lane, because those things don't just happen every 2 weeks. You literally have to fight every day to get those things. So, but I like that.
Yeah, I would wager that since B&B was started, I have not had a single week period that we had the same amount of revenue.
Yeah.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
In all the years, like ever. So exactly what you're saying. I mean, it's there are huge highs.
Mm-hmm.
There are some amazing things. I have a couple of canvases in my office that speak to these, but be prepared. Be prepared for the lows as well. And man, you know what just came to mind? Cypress Hill.
Okay, I'm listening.
Rap superstar, rock superstar at the beginning. It's like, save your money, man. Save your money. His single don't last very long. I wish I knew who actually said that part, because
actually, Cypress Hill is going to send us a cease and desist just for that.
That's fine. We'll go with Wu-Tang next time.
Wu-Tang?
Wu-Tang. But yes, that's the truth, right? Your first, let's say with axe throwing, your first $30,000 month. I'm just throwing a number out there.
Sure.
Or $5,000 week.
Oh yeah, those little milestones.
You don't take that. Yeah, you remember them, and it's amazing. You're like, shit, I'm onto something. There's something here.
But then you have a $50 Sunday, and it brings you right back down real quick.
Be smart about it. Don't go and buy a boat. Don't buy a boat, actually. But I mean, I'd like a boat, but but don't,
you can buy me a boat.
But be smart about it, because that's the thing that doesn't come with the entrepreneurship, the small business owner. That's what you don't get. Versus what you're saying, you can count on that. You count on and this is kind of how I grew up, like what you're talking about with your parents. It was me too. I wanted the safety net of corporate America, and that's what they give you. And I was really good at it. So you can build that out, and there is a lot of safety there. Now, times like these, that safety has kind of really gone away as far as what you can feel. A lot of safety has gone away in a lot of ways in our society. But as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, it's gone. You can do some things to really help, but you work as hard as you want to eat, as much as you want. And you just stated this. And the great thing I like about that is, here's what you need. Someone in the household needs to be able to build a budget, right? And you need to know what you need to meet that. So once you get there, I love that you said that. There's freedom in that. Okay, this is my baseline of how hard I need to work. Now, I want to grow it. I'm going to work my ass off. I know I've got to work harder than that. And hopefully for you, it didn't take, 100 hours for the last 6 months, a week for the last 6 months to get to that level. But for some people, it does.
Absolutely.
One of the things I want to get to in this session is, for each of us, kind of your one takeaway, your one, if you were speaking to 1,000 entrepreneurs, small business owners, if they had to walk away and remember one thing you said, what would you tell them?
Oh, geez. I have no
Tough.
idea.
So I don't want to do it right now because I want a chance to think about it. Right? Yeah. But I want that to be something to come out of this. And chances are either of the things we say are probably going to be something hopefully you're reading. Personal development's huge. Hopefully you're reading and by any manner, I mean, podcasts, books, whatever you do to better yourself, to learn from others. I'm doing this a lot.
Yeah, you are doing this.
I know, but it's all that crack. I got to stay away from it. But honestly, there should be some of that. And it may not be something that we're not reinventing the wheel. There's not much of a wheel to be reinvented, but if you hear it again, grab onto it, latch onto it. Hopefully it's good. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we do.
Guaranteed mine's not going to be.
Yeah. Moving on.
So,
period.
Can you hear that on?
Now he checked, across? I think. Pretty good. Say again, Mike. I can't hear you.
Testes.
1, 2.
So
speaking of, shout out our trio, the kickstand as we call him.
Is not here. Segue.
Austin, we miss you, buddy. Wish you were here. You bring a lot of entertainment. You're my boy, Blue. My boy.
Told myself I wouldn't cry.
So hopefully everything's going well over there. We'll see you soon. Next.
Oh, you meant next?
For you. I meant for you to say something.
I'm not very good with visual clues. No, kind of what you were saying. Hopefully somebody takes a little something away from these stupid talks that we do. Because I did a lot with books are a good one, but the further you get into this game, it seems like I have less and less time to read. And I know I should. And you see all these people doing the hard 75 and all these challenges where it requires you to read a certain amount every day and stuff. I do. But I think my reading comes on social media.
Yes.
And I think that's...
well, it seems it's updated. So
right.
Unfortunately, the time it takes to publish, to read like books, like I'm reading Shoe Dog, which is Phil Knight's autobiography, I believe. Nike. Well, that was published in 2005, 2012. I'm not sure. Versus
it's a big window there.
Yeah, I know. But versus what you're seeing on social media right now by some really, really talented people is right now.
Right.
And that's the great thing about social media. So what you were saying, that's where you get most of when you take your time to do your personal development.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And I get a lot of inspiration from that, and not from like seeing a real successful person on there or something like that, but I mean, just like little clips and things you can draw inspiration from. And we may be able to find this clip. I don't know, Mike. I keep looking over there and he's not there. But
Mike. Mike.
One of these ones that come to mind is a Steve Harvey clip, and it's him talking. I don't know even the context in which he's talking, if it's in front of a group or might have been in between shoots at freaking Family Feud, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's talking about you have to be willing to jump. You have to be willing to take the risk of injury in order to fly. Baby birds sitting in a nest and they think they can fly, but they don't really know until that first time. They have to willingly throw themselves out of their nest.
The ultimate leap of faith.
Right. So I used to listen to that one a lot when I was getting kind of ready to leave my corporate job in brokerage and do the beard stuff full time, which segued into axe throwing and coffee and all of that. But those little inspirational things, I would actually seek those out and find those daily, and maybe not always the same one, but in those same vein. Joe Rogan had a couple of really good ones. Will Smith, for me, had some really good ones.
You seem like a Will Smith kind of guy.
I am a huge are you Will Smith fan. And fun fact, his son.
You're still in my
I'm still in your moves because this is so exciting for me. So Will, if you see this,
his son Jaden,
yes, has the exact same birth date as my daughter Kaylin. Same date. They're the same exact age.
Are they both single?
I don't know, actually. Actually, I don't know about either one. That's horrible. I don't know. Kaylin, are you single? Jaden,
call daddy, honey. Just call daddy.
Jaden, get with my people.
I'm his.
I don't have any people.
No, I'm his people actually. So
yeah. I would use those. I would also use. I had a whole list of funny clips that I would do in the morning, and this even went back to when I was in my corporate job, because you have to, believe it or not, I used to have to be at work at 7 a.m.
Well, number one, I choose not to believe it, but
I did, and I had to wear slacks.
Do you even have any pants right now?
Pants?
Any pants?
I have a suit, so yes, it has a pair of pants with that suit. But that's the only pair
Congrats.
I have. I have 2 pairs of jeans, and 47 pairs of athletic shorts that I wear every day.
We know. True.
But I'd have to be at work and prepared for my day at 7 a.m. So I would get there a little early and pull up all these funny clips that would just basically set my brain to the right mood, because nobody wants to be at their stupid job that they hate at 7 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of have to trick your mind, twist your thinking to open up, and get in the proper frame of mind. So I would actually use all these little funny clips to kind of break myself out of the foul morning mood. So that's another little thing that I always did, little brain tricks, just kind of fool yourself into being happier. Because that's another cliche they say, but happiness is a state of mind, and you can choose whether you're happy or not. There's a guy I follow on TikTok right now, Inked Plumber, and he every day he comes out with a video and he says, "It's Monday. Have a great one or don't. It's up to you." And I firmly believe that, if you look every day for negative stuff, you're going to be surrounded in negative stuff. You look every day for positive stuff and you will find it. And I promise you that. And that's why, people come all the time and say, "Oh, the world's gone to hell in a handbasket and everybody sucks and I hate people." It's like, you're looking at the wrong people. I mean, you can see that, and there are horrible things that happen every freaking day around you. Yes, there always have been. But if you're seeking that, if you're choosing to find that, you're going to. But if you choose happiness or kindness or gratitude, you will find that too. And there are stories in the news you have to look a lot harder for every day to find, but there are still stories every day of acts of kindness and redemption and love and happiness. So that's kind of the power of books, podcasts, social media, all those things. If you frame your mind right, I firmly believe it can shape your life. So
no, absolutely. And I think,
that's going to be my thing later. Actually, it just came to me. If you frame your mind right, you can shape your life.
And I totally agree.
Put that on a t-shirt.
And you choose that. And I'll take it further because it's going to segue into mine as well. Cause I've had mine, which I'll tell you where it came from, but it's who you surround yourself with as well.
Oh,
it's how you choose your outlook, how you look at different things, the people that are around you. And I've stated before, at this stage in my career, I can choose who to do business with. That's not fully true. There are some things that you just can't pass up, and you've got to, regardless.
Phil Knight, he wants to do business
with. But for the most part, I can choose, I don't like this person. I am going to selectively work with them. And there are those, I'm completely honest. But choose to be around the people that, they don't have to be like-minded, actually. They don't. But if they bring you up, that's the important thing, because that in itself is going to, again, I'm stealing your thunder with your point here, but it's going to open you up to so many other things. You're going to be open to seeing things that you couldn't have before. So my actual one takeaway, if I had to give one, it is JB Hunt. So JB Hunt.
Yeah.
You have to.
I had to.
So when I graduated, no. when Ashley was getting her master's, the speaker was John L. Hunt. JB had died, but John L. Hunt, JB Hunt, by the way, huge freight logistics company.
Trucking and logistics company.
Based out of Northwest Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Huge. And you've seen their trucks and their trailers everywhere. This is what she said. JB always said, never think you're the smartest man in the room. However, make sure when you come into a meeting, you have the smartest team. So surround yourself with people smarter than you. I know you've heard it.
Super easy.
18 different people. I mean, a million different people have said this. Yeah. But that's the thing. And
I'm already surrounded by smarter people. So that's cool.
And the real of it is some people, and I'm one of these people, think you're so smart. Like I have always been considered this super intelligent guy growing up. Not so much anymore, but growing up.
What scale are we measuring on? Is this like 80s and 90s movie quote smart? I mean, because I'd say I'm right there with you.
99th percentile.
Yes.
But no, with whatever you're in, surround yourself. And I'll take it a step further. So that's great. That's amazing. But to put it into something usable, I'm trying to do something different. To take it a step further.
Can you put sound effects in if I do this?
Ricka. That's not it. Okay.
That was horrible.
Don't try to be an accountant if you're not an accountant. You're really good at this, not being an accountant.
I am super good at that. That's like my biggest quality is not being an accountant.
What it boils down to is know your strengths, but find people to fill the other gaps. When it comes to small businesses, you need professional services. And if you're super lucky, you're in one of those fields. So if you're already an attorney or you're already an accountant, if you have I am neither one of those. Any inkling of that spirit that you want to do something, man, go do it. Go do it because you have such a leg up because every single business needs those professional services. But I'll go back to it. Surround yourself with, I'm not a huge idea guy. I'm not. I'm more of, here are my strengths. Execution, right? Yep. Following through and making sure something gets done.
Badgering the shit out of people. Yeah. So they get stuff
whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. Even if it takes being an asshole.
Super good strength of yours, yes.
And then, building relationships. I think those are probably my two things. I've got great hair also.
Super modest.
It's like
really modest. That's one of his.
But I say that to say, so I'm missing all this gamut, all the rest of the pie.
All the actual business stuff. Right? I can start the ball rolling, but once it starts going, somebody else get that.
Just kick it over. Just kick it. But yeah, so you need to have people, that you can rely on to do that. And if you have to pay them because they're worth it. But that's it. That's my big thing is surround yourself with people that are smarter than you and be modest about it, which was the hardest part for me, obviously.
No, and that's true. And going back to Gary Vee, because he's probably one of the first, I would say, and he hates being called a motivational speaker, but one of the first kind of entrepreneurial speaker podcasts that I started listening to. And for a couple of years, every morning in the shower, I was listening to Gary Vee's podcast. But he always said, triple down on your strengths and then find those to fill in the gaps where you're weakest. Their strength is your weakness and vice versa. And I think, and I could be wrong, but that's why we clicked actually really well, because a lot of the stuff you do really good is the stuff I don't at all do very good. Right. The follow through, the checking the boxes, the paperwork, the organization. Right. He has a whiteboard in his office with stuff on it. I bought a planner and I haven't written in it yet. And I do that all the time. I have a couple of times actually. But yeah, organization, follow through, all that stuff is not my strength. Even going back into the brokerage, I was one of the most successful brokers in the firm that we were in, but it was because of my basically unorganized style. I never said no to a client, even if I had no idea what they were talking about or if we could even do it. I would say, yeah, we can do that. And then I would figure it out. And then I had people behind me kind of picking up the pieces as far as the legality, the paperwork, the billing.
That's how your capabilities expand as well. To a small business owner, that's amazing nugget right there. It's not always good, but saying yes and then figuring it out, if it's remotely possible, figuring it out gives you an entirely new avenue, which is what you did in that time for another company, unfortunately, and you've continued to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I still kind of go off of that. And yes,
we have 7 mobiles this weekend and we only have 2 setups. Yeah, for sure. We'll take them all.
That's true
Every
story.
single one of them.
Yes.
And figure it out.
And I actually bought a truck that weekend too.
Hey man, do what you got to do. Just do it.
But
make the magic happen.
Yes, you do get burned every now and then. I've been burned plenty of times. You fall down, you pick yourself up, you try to learn from it. But at the same time, you don't want to lose within you what it is that makes you. So I shake those off. I mean, you have to be willing to just kind of shake the losses off and keep trudging forward. But you're very, very good at
thank you.
Kind the end of sentence. You're very good.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you are kind of.
I almost just did it again. I'm so sorry.
I kind of get off on these tangents and start rolling before we even have anything, and then the ones that I think have some salt to them, you're kind of like, all right, I can see it. But you start actually formulating plans and checking off the boxes of where are we at on the the permits, where are we at on the able license, where are we at on this, that, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, let's do this. And here, over here, let's go do that. Bam, 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 bam. And we need 7 more lines of coffee. And, I need a beer,
Done.
some blunt wraps. We're in a whole new line, just all these things. And most of the time, and I say this too, this is another little kind of tidbit. If it's an idea that you have recurring in your brain, I always think that that's worth pursuing. Because I have a million of them, and most, I would say most small business owners and entrepreneurs have too many ideas almost,
sure.
or at least a lot of people do. Too many ideas, but those ones that resonate, that keep coming back, that are there when you wake up, that are there when you go to sleep, those are the ones I think you should at least put some time into pursuing. And those are the ones that you kind of help me pursue by checking the right boxes, rather than I've always been a leap before you look kind of guy. And
right.
like I said, that's hurt me a lot of times, but more often than not, it's benefited me at least in some way.
Well, it makes you grow also when you jump out.
And that's why I say they're not always monetary wins, but they are always, not always, but most of the time wins in something. I gain a friend, I learn a valuable lesson, I make some connections that I wouldn't have otherwise made, all those things that you can parlay into some other kind of success.
For sure.
So, just know your strengths and then surround yourself with like-minded people that maybe have strengths in other areas that you're soft in. And
you heard it here first, folks.
That's an original idea. It's never been said before.
Exactly. So
write that down. Book is coming out.
Actually, it's copywritten already, so don't write it down. We've all experienced losses in business, right? And well, actually, not everyone.
And my
Some
goldfish.
people are really, really.
I lost him. I never got over that.
What was his name?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, no goldfish.
I did have a guinea pig. His name was Mo.
Oh, I've got a really bad guinea pig
because he was solid
story.
black and he had a little tuft of hair and he looked like Mo from Three Stooges. So we named him Mo.
Well, the show has
Let's
taken a
end.
new
Let's end on that. That's
low.
solid. That's strong.
That is
You can
gold.
take that
You're
home.
sitting on gold right now.
If you don't remember anything else from this podcast, my guinea pig was named Mo after Mo from the Three Stooges.
So what do we think? What do we want to do? We have, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 episodes left in this season. So what would we like people to see? We have 5 minutes.
This podcast is actually a prime example of kind of the way I do things. Hey, you want to do a podcast? That sounds freaking awesome. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Should
Done.
we plan for it? Should we maybe write out some talking points? Make sure our guests are secure? Yeah, I mean, let's just get in there and wing it. And most of the time it works out. I mean, I think there's, what do we say? Maybe 10 seconds of usable content in each
I'd
one
say
of these.
10 seconds is pretty good.
Yeah. There's a clip.
That's
one
fair.
little clip.
I think it's fair. I think this one we've gone pretty deep into it. And guys, we're not coming to you trying to be like, hey, we are very good at what we do. We are the professionals of professionals. I mean, Jason is. So we're not coming to these people, all of you, all 27 of you.
29 after today. I feel strong. We're picking up at least 2.
Blowing up, baby.
And our new sponsor, Coke Zero. Thank you.
But again,
not really. Is there some kind of legal disclaimer that has to crawl across the bottom? Not really sponsored by Coke Zero.
Hey, the whole reason that we do this thing is in hopes that, number one, we think possibly a big idea could come out of just the gathering of different people. When we bring these guests in, we've already talked about
that happened moment 1 before our first episode.
Before episode 1.
We were talking, we were actually kind of planning that one 30 minutes before. So not a whole lot of planning went in, but we had a meeting before our first podcast.
It was supposed to be like an hour and a half before, but...
And I think a pretty stellar idea came out of that.
Absolutely.
We can't clue you in just yet because this is
going to be
groundbreaking, world-changing.
It's going to be huge.
But it's going to be awesome. It is going to be huge.
Yeah, we need to jump on that like right now. And by we, I mean me, you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what do we have? Who do we have coming up? Do we have anyone scheduled right now?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I erased my board so I can't see it anymore. I needed that space, bro.
I haven't known a single guest coming before they actually sat down.
You knew one,
and I wasn't even there for that one. Felix.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about Tomas.
Oh, yeah, I did know Tomas.
Yeah. You were not there for Felix.
I think we should bring Felix back.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah.
Felix
is, number one, he's a super great guy, but he's somebody that kind of goes into what we were just playing, our strengths and weaknesses, because we were actually in business together and still great friends, and his business is succeeding, and it 100% succeeds off of Felix's personality and who he is, because he gives so much back to his customers and his community and just the person he is. But he's not the showman. Like he doesn't like to be out in front of people, and that's kind of where I shine in that aspect of, I mean, I don't even know what we were talking about, but Felix come back. He's like, after that, no way.
Pass. Hard pass.
Are you crazy?
Hard pass. Hey, but in the next 6 weeks, we have 2 new locations opening axe throwing wise.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We haven't even really talked about axe throwing.
We haven't. I thought about that today, and I wanted to spend more time now that we have 55 seconds left.
Sweet.
I wanted to spend more time on that, but we've got a few more episodes, so we can do that.
Sure.
But yes, I think we should devote, because I think we'll have the opportunity to devote an episode to maybe open. What if they heard that? To opening a new business/location, because I think we've seen a lot of the road bumps.
Oh, that would actually be a really good episode.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff could be taken into so many other industries as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be a good one. Maybe we could grab another owner and get them on between now and then.
Sure.
I bet we could. I bet we know someone.
know a few.
Yeah. So we've got
back to shining the turn.
We've got to.
No,
I was just so hoping you weren't going to say that, but you did. No, guys, thanks again. We have not even said the name of it. What is the name of this podcast, Mike? Anyone? I just looked directly into those lights.
There's nobody over there, though.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping that literally any ghost. I don't know. Poltergeist. Money walks.
Bullshit talks.
Booyah. We'll see you guys next time.